Today Africa Podcast is a podcast series where we interview African entrepreneurs and professionals and share the stories behind their businesses. In each interview, we ask how they got started, how they grew, and how they run their business today. The stories are inspiring and also provide specific advice and insight into starting a business. By sharing these stories, we want to help others get started.
Welcome to another episode of Today Africa Podcast, and our guest today is Emmanuel Jacobs. He's a co-founder of Shoptreo, a B2B startup based in Aba. Emmanuel, you are welcome.
I'm grateful to be here.
So please tell us about yourself and what Shoptreo is all about.
Okay. My name is Emmanuel Jacobs. I happen to co-found Shoptreo, a B2B startup, targeting African informal fashion distributors and manufacturers. The reason why we went into this market was because of our experience when growing up, and also because the market is undeserved. Now, a lot of people don't really know much about the potentials about informal fashion businesses in Africa. And most people don't really know how big the fashion industry is in Africa, especially we having the largest fashion manufacturing market in West Africa, which is in Aba.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that. And this is a sector we grew up in, challenges from our parents here and there. So along the line, we started to build more scalable solutions for distributors and merchants in this sector.
Let's go back to your backstory. So what's your backstory like, and how did you come about this business idea called Shoptreo?
Okay, that's a good question. Like I said earlier, it was a pain point for my parents, especially, and the parents of my co-founder when we all started this business. Growing up in Onitsha, in a family of traders. So if you grew up in Onitsha, you understand that most families are basically into trading. So trading is what most families in Onitsha know how to do best. And that's where they cater for their families and the other extended families. So I was opportunity to be born into this family, and the challenges that comes with transportation to Aba, and also getting access to credit. Since the market is informal, it's very difficult to get access to credit, especially loans from banks. So scaling as a distributor, as a B2B distributor, is not really that easy for people like us back then. So the only option is to grow big. Because the people that benefit the more are B2B distributors. But for small scale distributors who are just starting the business or who have been in the business for a year or two, that don't have enough funds to buy larger quantity and distribute, it becomes a challenge for people like this to grow this business. We decided to change the game. The market has full potentials, but you will get to understand that most people don't even know about the Aba market. Most people wear Aba products, but they don't know that this is Aba products. You understand? Because of because you know how it is that people feel like everything is gotten from China or others from abroad. But the thing is that over like 60 to 70% of what you get in the market today is actually produced in Aba. So with all this we now decided, okay, it's time people get to know how big this market is, the potential involved in this market, and not just how big. Also, we also tried, okay, looking for ways to, help distributors like my parents back then, distributors like them that are still going through the challenges. We also how to look for ways to help them scale. So that is how we came about the idea with Shoptreo in 2021. It wasn't really easy for us, getting the concept and trying to make things work out, because most of these most of our target audience, they are all informal distributors and manufacturers. So which means they lack smartphones. Some of them don't even have bank accounts. So it was very difficult for us to get to those people and preach to them about how technology can change the way they operate their businesses, and also how they can get loan faster without too much collateral or whatnot to grow their businesses. So that is how we came about, Shoptreo.
Everything in life has its own challenges. So what were the challenges that you guys faced, and how did you people overcome it? Since you are dealing with informal sector, like you said, most of them don't have smartphone, and some of them don't even have bank account. So what were those challenges that you people faced, and how did you overcome it?
Well, when we started, it wasn't really that easy. Like in 2021, November, when we started, first, we tried capturing the markets because we needed to have more of the manufacturer's database before we could sell the product itself. So what we did was that we started with B2C actually in 2021. We did B2C for a year, I think, yeah, a year, and a year and some months actually. So basically the B2C was we are kind of selling we are kind of connecting manufacturers to consumers across the country. So we kind of scale to just Lagos, Anambra, Enugu, Abuja, and the other parts of the country. But we realized that B2C was not actually giving us what we wanted. People make sales there,
Okay.
but the margin was too small for us. So we were not actually getting enough profits that we are supposed to get. So along the line, we noticed it and we had to pivot to B2B. And since we went into B2B, there were also challenges too. Now, since we are now, bringing in bringing in distributors now to connect with the manufacturers instead of consumers, that was even a tougher challenge for us because before we were kind of dealing with small scale manufacturers, so we had to see how we can expand the game. So we started going through unions from union to union, trying to talk to them about accepting Shoptreo because in Aba it's like a union. You understand? So it's not like any other market that you just go into and you start working. So there are unions in charge of every hub, every manufacturing hub. So we have to talk to them. We have to make them see the reasons why they should use Shoptreo. So along the line, we came to understand that introducing technology alone won't scale. So what we had to do was we had to provide value because what we figured out was that was the reason why people are not actually getting to listen to us because we are not actually providing real value. So what we did was that we had to compile database of these manufacturers. Now we moved from Aba. We now focused on distributors market. So we had to identify first. We had to identify distributors market that actually come to Aba to get their goods, like in Kano, Onitsha, Lagos, Ibadan, and some other part of the country. So even Kaduna. So we had to identify Kano, Onitsha at first. So we ventured into these places. So what we did was that we used the traditional method because that is what resonates with the people more. So in the distributors market, you can't just go there and tell them to use your app. It's not going to work out because they don't know you. And before you have been doing business and have been successful at it. So you understand? So what we did is we had to make them understand. So where we got them from was the due diligence process. Because going to a bar at some point now became expensive. And also, if you don't go to a bar and you don't have someone to monitor your goods, you might end up getting what you didn't order for. You understand? And it's not deliberate. It's because of the inflow of orders that comes into Aba. So there is no day you go to Aba you don't see manufacturers working. They are always busy, and that is one factor. That is one one thing that made them not to use. I think that's the thing that makes them not use it because they are not really free to download or use any software or that. Some of them don't even know the kind of app, what apps are. Some of them don't even know where to download these apps from. So you see the challenges. So it was very difficult for us, So we had to get value the best way we can get value for them. by going to these distributors market, marketing Shoptreo products. Then in turn, now they give us money because of I think it started with 10 persons. 10 persons give us money. It's just like a referral program. They started telling their people, their friends, because they also have a union too. Started telling their friends, okay, go with these people. These people can help you get the product, and not just getting the product too. They will help you do quality assurance to make sure that you don't have to stress yourself going to about or calling manufacturers. Sometimes when you call these manufacturers during daytime, they don't pick. That's the truth. They don't pick because they're always busy. So those are the challenges we discovered, and we had to leverage on it. So that was how we started from Kano, Onitsha. Then I think it was late middle of the year 2024. So we expanded to Ibadan, and expanding to Ibadan, I think it was a game changer for us because the inflow we had in Ibadan so far is not something to compare when we started the business. So it's really been there. Really been a challenges. From every challenges we've been crossing the road, we'll be crossing it and we're crossing it, and even till now we are still having some challenges in terms of cash flow problems because majority of the cash here is still cash based. Majority of transactions here are still cash based, sorry. So most of them still move cash. So get is also making it difficult for transactions to go through the banking system. So we are also working on that to make sure we are working on that by next year. We are introducing a new app by next year that will help their transactions go through the banking system.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about the process of launching your business. So, can you describe the process of launching your business into the market?
Okay. Like when we started, it was in June 2021. That was when the idea came. I hooked up my co-founder and we started planning. We did a lot of work. We did a lot of work to make sure that Shoptreo becomes successful after launch. We did a lot of groundwork and not just getting the idea. I used to tell people getting the idea is not enough. You have to conduct
Okay.
survey. So what we did was that we had to go to this market because then we are in Lagos. So we had to go to the markets, the various markets. We have to study these markets. We had some interactions with the manufacturers and to better understand their pain points. So to see how we can tailor Shoptreo to their needs. So that was what we did. So we did that for like from June to November before we now launched November 22. So we had series of travels from Lagos to Aba to Enugu to Anambra to even Imo to other states just to get a survey. And the reason why we had to make these travels was because for you to get these customers, you have to be with them physically. You understand? So it's not
Yeah.
like other businesses that you can just get a questionnaire running and people just fill it up. So in our own case, we have to spend money because it's not really a easy market for everyone because there are a lot of startups that actually came into the market and because they didn't have that relationship with the market unions and the market leaders and all those, so they were not able to succeed. But we going into the market understood these things. So what we did first was that we started developing relationship before we even launched. We started creating
Okay.
relationship with manufacturers, getting their contacts, calling them and saying their improvements and stuff like that. That was how we started. So from there, so we had to buy trust. We had to buy some trust of some of the manufacturers, so that for we
Okay.
to be able to get easy access. So those are actually the manufacturers we started with. When we started with about 100 manufacturers in
Wow.
2021. Then
Okay.
and these things we did it ourselves, so there wasn't like a fat pause. But because we worked in other companies before, we were able to, gather some savings and we were able to do this. So we started with 100. So that was in 2021. As time moves on, we started scaling, and now we have over 8,000 manufacturers on our database. And this market has a potential of about 350,000 manufacturers. So we've not even started. So having 8,000 is like we've not really cracked the surface. But
Okay.
we believe by next year we are working on increasing our market share.
Okay. You mentioned about money, the way you people started, you people made some traveling. You said you guys were staying in Lagos. You people had to travel to these markets to Aba, Odisha, Igbo, and other parts of the country. So how did you guys raise the capital for your business?
Well, like I said earlier, my partner and I we worked in some reputable organizations before, and
Yeah.
we were able to save up. And there is also this saying that if your family members can invest in your startup at an early stage, that means you're not doing the right thing. So we got support too from our family member. I think that was the first capital we raised. We raised about $20,000. I think in about 450 naira back then, 450 naira exchange rate back then. So you see, it wasn't that much then. So we raised about twenty
Yeah.
thousand dollars then. That was we added it to our capital. So that was that accounted for salary and some other expenses. But it couldn't go far because of how difficult this market is, of how we needed to be there present, and also the traveling and other stuff that had to do with us getting set to launch. So it didn't go far, but it helped us for the start, and we were able to scale to a particular end with it before funding came up.
So what's your business model like, and how does Shoptreo generate revenue?
Unlike the B2C model we used to operate on before we pivoted, you and I know in Nigeria, because of infrastructure challenges, B2C businesses, especially commerce businesses, are very difficult to scale. Um,
Okay.
not that you won't be making sales, but the margin, the profits, your revenue will be shrinking because there are other things like logistics, and logistics is very expensive in this part of Africa. So there are other things where money gets into that at the end of the day, you see that things are not adding up. So having a B2B platform has been really exciting for us. It has, like I told you earlier, it changed the game for us, honestly, because it brought us closer to our merchants. You understand? Now, what we
Yeah.
did was that we had to employ the services of ad hoc marketers. Now, these marketers are not really being paid salary. They earn on commission based on the people they bring into the platform, and they also collect what we call transportation fee at the end of the month. So that was a strategy we came into the market with that really helped us because looking at the market, there is no strategy that would have worked better than this strategy. You understand?
Okay.
And not just
Yeah.
you having ad hoc marketers in the market, it also gives them opportunity to learn from your manufacturers, learn from the distributors. For instances, how do we know products that trend? We discuss with the distributors, our distributors, to get to know, okay, these are the products that are trending, these are the products that people want buy the most. Okay, we communicate that to our manufacturers. But if we are not on ground, how do we get to know this? You understand? So
Yeah.
so many informations that we get firsthand because we are present in this market. So it helps us grow faster. You understand? Because the more we communicate with our customers, the more changes we make to our platform and the more services we offer. So it's really changed the game for us. So how we make money from them is from we have a commission that we charge, but we had to discontinue that commission as of last month because of challenges, economic challenges. So it only makes sense that we bear with our distributors, our merchants for now, and see how we can revisit the commission base by next year. And also, not just on
Okay.
commission, we make about money from logistics, not that much, but we make something from logistics. And also retail. The bulk of the money comes from retail credits. So what we do with our
Okay.
retail credits is we give them credit, we give them goods on credits. The giving them goods on
Okay.
credit has already given us that 99% assurance that we are going to get our money back, because these guys are business people. So they sell to retailers who in turn sells to consumers. So when you give them goods on credit, what they do is that they will sell these goods to retailers who in turn take it to their different smaller markets and resell. So
Yeah.
this gives us 100% assurance that we are going to get our interest back, because the goods are not taken home and and kept there. They sell these goods. So he gave us
Yeah.
about a 99% recovery retail credit recovery rate. We've not had issues with that for now. And also outside that, we also make money from service charge. That's what we call service charge. This service charge is indirectly, you know, in the goods that these distributors buy. So they don't really know they're
Okay.
paying for it. So these are ways we
Okay.
make money, but we also have plans. We also have future plans for next year to, open more revenue streams as we expand our market to beyond Nigeria to West Africa and then some other parts of Europe.
Let's talk about how you get your customers. And in this case, your customers here are the manufacturers and the distributors. That
Yes,
these two groups.
what's exciting for us is that we are not like some other startups that have to go through different markets or different cities to get manufacturers. You understand?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
like in Nigeria, like in Africa, in West Africa,
Okay.
we have the biggest manufacturing market in West Africa is in Nigeria, situated in Aba.
Okay.
The
Okay.
second biggest manufacturing market in West Africa is also in Nigeria, situated in Anambra. I think that's the one people don't know. But people, because
Okay.
of most people know Aba, but they don't know the one in Anambra. So what we do
Okay.
is that since our manufacturers are in the same region, in the same city, so it makes it easy for us to get these people. And also, not just getting them, trust. Like I told you earlier, when we started, we had to build value. It was even this year, middle of the year, that we launched our app. So operating since 2021, we never had an app because we understand that, and that's the mistake most startups make actually. Going into the market first time, I just develop an app. So for some it works, but for some it doesn't. So it all depends on what your customers want. How do you interact with your customers? So we have to build value first.
Okay.
So building that value, in the process of building that value, we made a lot of friendship relationships with manufacturers. So getting access to them became very easy for us. So for the distributors, it wasn't that really that easy too, because in the manufacturer's case, we had a situation whereby most of them, and when we started, they were like, "I'm very busy, come back tomorrow." That was like what they kept on telling us, and to honest, they were
Okay.
very busy. You understand? But giving us that
Yeah.
audience while they were busy was something that they didn't see any value in it. But now they pay attention because of the value that we have created for them. So
Okay.
for the distributors market, there are also a lot of challenges too. Similar challenges because there are similar markets. And when we want to talk about low income and earners with low tech literacy rates, I think
Yeah.
the market we operate in is the lowest. For me to tell you that most of these people don't have bank accounts, as popular as Money Point, OPay, and other banks, some of them don't have bank accounts. Some of them don't have
Oh.
smartphones. The few ones that have smartphones don't even know how to operate the smartphones. Email, to even get an email to open and for Google Play Store to download an app becomes an issue. So when you are
Wow.
operating in markets like this, it takes step by step for you to introduce technology. You don't just come in and introduce technology. You have to first of all offer them value, give them what they are looking for. They are looking for sales, give them sales. And not just in sales, impact their lives in one way or the other. When you do that, you'll see that they will pay attention to you. So that was how we were able to capture these markets. It wasn't easy at first. And even till now, we are still having some challenges in other markets that we venture into. But we are also working on it and things are going well.
How did you meet your co-founder? Is it that you have been friends from childhood? What
Um,
convinced you that this guy is the right person to work on this journey with?
Well, when we started, as in how we met each other was actually funny. I think Jack Dorsey did a lot in terms of the owner of Twitter back then. He did a lot. I think I
Okay.
met when the idea came in. You know, the idea came in 2 weeks after my other business failed. With that pain, I was in my apartment. I was staying in Warri then. I was in my apartment. I was thinking, how do I do something else instead of crying over failed businesses and stuff like that? So I now realized, remember that, okay, growing up in Indonesia, these were the challenges my parents faced and stuff like that. So I think I want to venture in into this market because most people don't really know how big Aba is. So there was this
Yeah.
narrative going on then that Aba is just filled up with fake products and stuff like that. So whenever someone sees any fake product, the first thing that comes to mind is Aba meat. You understand? So it was everywhere then. So and me, I've been to Aba before. I know how big the market is. I know that most of the things they do there is not really it's not really fake, actually. You understand? Although
Okay. Yeah.
some of them have branding issues, so they normally use all this latest branding from all these companies, Gucci and Versace branding kind of stuff to make their products sell. You understand? And
Okay.
we
Yeah.
understand the reason for this, but I don't want to go into that. So
Okay.
so when the idea came in, I now said, okay, how do I get someone that, or not just someone, but someone that understands the business? So I went on LinkedIn. So I started meeting people, talking to people about it, and I got to discover that these people they are not actually they don't really understand the business. They are approaching the business in a kind of fintech or technology kind of way. But I know that this solution is not
Yeah.
just creating an app and it just start running like that. You understand? So I think along the
Yeah.
line, I was on Twitter. I was on Twitter. Someone messaged me on Twitter. So I went to my inbox. I checked. It was my co-founder. So he himself,
Okay.
he was looking for a co-founder at that particular time. So he was in
Okay.
Lagos then. So he was trying to build, I think, a grocery shopping app where people can order for groceries and just like what Gold Lemon is doing now. So
Yeah.
so we came in contact. We now moved the conversation to WhatsApp. We had a call, started talking, So it gets to a point that when he heard about my solution, he was so fascinated because his parents faced through the same issues too. So it was like
Okay.
it was like it was all planned because his parents faced the same issues and he was even looking into solving that issue beforehand. So when we came, so we had to merge our ideas together. So I flew to Lagos to meet him. So that was where founders agreement was made. We discussed and everything. So every other team, both our advisors, I think we got every other person from our team from LinkedIn and Twitter. So that
Okay.
was how we were able to recruit our first team. So we were able to recruit 9 persons. Unfortunately, only four was remaining. The others left. And that four that remained as of them are still with us today. So you see,
Okay.
that's to say not everybody will believe in your vision, but these other four that remain, they believed in the Shoptreo vision. They understand. They even saw today before us. You understand? So we are because then we
Yeah.
are like B2C, B2C, but then we are seeing what we were not seeing. So having those
Okay.
people, experienced people on our team, it made it very easy for us to navigate logistics, navigate the market, and also customers because our logistics head also worked in FedEx and worked in UPS. So with that knowledge, and with one of our marketing head who also owns a fashion house to a fashion shoe luxury fashion house in Lagos.
Okay.
So those expertise, we all came together and we had to pour in our knowledge, our expertise, and that was how Shoptrue began. That was how we keep on iterating, changing ideas, bringing in new added services and all that stuff before we eventually got technology into Shoptrue.
So that means when you people came together, all of you now move down to Aba or what? Or you people operate?
Yes, yes.
Oh, God,
We
all
all
of you
moved
moved to
down to
Aba.
Accra because first, when we got this outside my partner, when we got the
Yeah.
other people, they have not actually been to Aba before. But they know
Okay.
about exist. They have the knowledge, but
Okay.
they don't actually know how big this market. And you have to understand how big the market is for you to be able to, you know, build something on it and also share more
Yeah.
ideas. So we have to move everybody to Aba. So you see where the expenses now started coming in. We have to move everybody to Aba to understand the market proper. You understand? So
Okay.
as time goes on, as we started pivoting and we started changing some ideas, they all had to go back to their respective communities, then started building from there. You understand? So, but for now,
Yeah.
since that we have been building from our respective community, we have gotten more knowledge because not just having manufacturers markets in but we also have distributors markets in everywhere in the country. You understand? So
Okay.
they're
Yeah.
also going to those distributors market, making inquiry of what they buy, what the trend and stuff like that. So it also helped in building our fan base and building our customers.
For your business. How
Yeah,
is Shoptreo doing today, and what does the future look like?
the future is looking great. Well, there are some things I'm not permitted to say here
Okay.
until we launch those initiatives. Okay,
Okay.
but right now we are looking at how we can, expand our market base and moving to Lagos by
Okay.
next year, and also not just Lagos, West Africa. And also we are looking at how we can expand shop through beyond just informal markets. So we are looking at
Okay.
how we can incorporate the Alibaba model and expand shop through to every part of Nigeria and West Africa. That is why we are by next year will be seriously scaling our tech solution because
Okay.
we understand if you are conversant on Facebook, you understand that cheap fashion is a business on its own. Most people on Facebook they buy from Aba for as low as 2,000, 3,000 naira per slippers, and when they take it to Facebook, they sell it for 8,000, 9,000, and they make profit, good profit. See how
Yeah.
the business is. So it has actually been affecting our manufacturers because our manufacturers make low. They don't really make much gain. But for the
Okay.
distributors can buy bulky of these slippers for a very smaller price, take it to their distributors market and sell it times three of what they bought it. And people will still think it's very cheap. You understand? Because if the slippers is 2,500, for example, and you're selling it for
Yeah.
5,000, 6,000, isn't that cheap? It's cheap.
It's
People
cheap.
can still afford it now. You understand? But
Yeah.
most people don't really
Yes.
know that okay, this thing that you are buying actually is actually 2,500. Yeah. So cheap fashion is a business on its own. You see groups, about 90,000 groups, 80,000, 100 and something thousand groups on Facebook. What they do on just cheap fashion. Understand? So we are looking at how we can
Yeah.
target those customers, those are our customer segments, and not just those customers, expand to everywhere in Nigeria. Why our B2B model will still be there, we still be working our market to market approach, will still be in operation. Our B2B model is not changing. So even while we are targeting those online, it's still going to be B2B. So B2B in the sense that you can't buy less than a particular product. Like in our app now, we have an MAQ. You can't buy less than five products. You understand?
Okay.
So in
Yeah.
Aba before now in Aba, it's even very difficult for you to go to manufacturer now and tell a manufacturer that you want about 5 pieces of just the slippers, just 5 pieces. It's really impossible because manufacturers don't do singles, they do bulky goods. So we are even kind of making it easier for those smaller scale distributors to even get the products from us. You understand? Because if you go to
Yeah.
Aba, you can't get less than 10. There is even a policy now in Aba that you can't manufacture products less than 10 because they have to make profit. You understand? And if they are
Yes.
getting products more than 10, and they're also buying materials too. Materials are becoming expensive. And the more materials they buy, the more discount they get. So if you are doing more
Okay.
than 10, that means they are going to buy more material to produce that 10. You understand? So
Yeah.
they're going to get discount on the material. That's another way of them making money. But if you are buying single or maybe just two, three, people selling those materials are not going to give them a discount because they are buying three materials to produce three. You understand? So you see what based on the
Yes.
economy now. So we are even making it easy for low income distributors and also online users to have a taste of what Aba can do. You understand? So I think
Yeah.
there is also an advantage for us too, because without us, it's going to be very difficult for you to get it. And if you go on Facebook, you want to get this, because Facebook, what the Facebook do is they do group buying. You understand? Where people come in,
Yeah.
donate money, give to the admin, and the admin goes and get it shipped and sells it for maybe 5,000 there, and then in turn can sell it for 8,000. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
But in
So
Shoptreo now is going to make it easy for everyone to get access to the market. And
okay.
while everyone also getting access to the market, we are not in any way removing whatever the admins of those groups are making. You understand? Because we are kind of launching, we are going to be launching a referral platform, a agent app soon by January. So how this app works is that for everyone, it's an app for everyone, both online and offline. So you can make money even while you buy. So for example, now you can refer someone, buy for the person, or refer someone to buy from you using your agent app. So you make a certain commission from that what that person is buying. So
Okay.
even you can even make commission from what you are buying. You understand? If you know how to go
Okay.
about it.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody buying, everybody introducing everybody buying, and also making money at the same time. So that's that's the concept we come
Okay.
up with to make for everybody to benefit from what Shoptreo is doing. So the more goods you buy, the more money you make. And what makes ours interesting is that we don't have a tag like you have to buy like 500, you have to buy like 500,000 using or before you can get. No, we don't have that kind of. So immediately you buy, immediately you earn. Understand? And our earning is
Yeah.
per one single product times how many products you are
Okay.
buying. You are buying from the platform. Let's say you have a
Okay.
customer that is buying 1,000 pairs of one slippers. Let's say your commission from there, let's say might be 15 naira for a start. Then 15 naira
Okay.
now, what you'll be looking at is now 15 naira times 1,000. That is what you are making
Yeah.
as an agent.
Wow.
And I don't think there are any other company that is offering this level of awoof that we are giving these guys now. So it's going to give them, it's going to make them work harder and reducing the stress for us.
Yeah.
You understand? These are
Yeah.
marketing strategies
Yeah.
that can reduce the stress for us and make people work for us to make more money,
That's
to earn
true.
money. So by January, that will be launched. And we are also working on franchise. I think I won't go further on this until
Okay.
we
It's
announce it.
launched.
And we are working
Okay.
looking on franchise to European countries and all that, but I won't go further on that until we launch
Okay.
that part of the business. But outside that,
Okay.
we also have a lot of things that we are working on by next year. And our major goal now is to increase our market share. This is expanding to Lagos, massively scaling the technology to not just the markets in Nigeria, but also to the whole of Nigeria and West Africa, while also maintaining our market to market approach model. So those are things we are working on that will be unfolded as time goes on.
What are some key lessons that you have learned in your journey as an entrepreneur?
Well, resilience. I think that this you can never say founder can never say that enough. Resilience. Also because the market is going to test you. That's to be honest. The market is going to test you. But what sets you apart from just an ordinary person is your determination, your zeal to continue moving forward. At some point we thought we'll never get to this stage. We almost gave up, to be honest. But because we understand the market better than everyone else, we had to, keep on pushing. So one thing I would advise people is don't let people make you feel like they understand the market more than you, because you are the one solving a pain point, and you have
Okay.
been there. So you are along the way when you're growing up, maybe when you're growing up or at some point in your life, you have faced this pain point. So someone else out there might not have gone through that pain point and doesn't really understand how big what you are building is. So I think even while we try to listen to people, also try to make sure that you fed up negativity, because it will come. It will test you. A lot of things will test you. Some people might even come and tell you that what you are building is not scalable. We have a lot of people that told us that in 2022. Yeah, countless of people told us that. They even gave a sermon on it and stuff like that. But we are still here today, still pushing and still growing. So there are a lot of people that will tell you a lot of things. So your determination, how determined are you to make sure that this thing that you put in efforts grow? Your determination matters a lot. Your zeal matters a lot. Also, motivation. You have to learn to motivate yourself most times, because at some point you will feel less motivated to do stuff because challenges here and here. There was a time when we are going to the market, everybody was telling us, no, 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 we don't need you. Go back, we don't need you, don't need you. We have ways we are doing it before. If we are okay now, saying okay, let's just give up as of then. I think there won't be Shoptreo now, and there won't be most of the things we are about to dish out to the public by next year won't even be possible. You understand? So
Yeah.
there are a lot of challenges that will test you. So your determination matters, your resilience. How resilient are you to make sure that you're able to accomplish these goals? So if you can build on these things, I don't think you have to fade off along the way, because I'm not saying that is not saying that because you have determination, zeal, you don't know when to pivot or you don't know when to iterate. That's not what I'm saying. No, when you are working on something and you try this, it's not working. It might be that it's a feature that is making it not to work. Maybe if you add something that people like, it might boost, maybe referral or something, people might want to use it. But in the event that you've tried all these things and it's not working out, I see an option. I usually tell people pivot
Okay.
instead of shutting down, pivot or iterate to something better. You understand? Because
Yeah.
entrepreneurship is not easy anywhere in the world. And also, one thing I've also learned is that I think most people will not agree. Most people that watch this video might not agree with me, but it's something I've learned from experience. Sustainability is very, very important in a business. Uh, there was a time we had no, 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 no from investors. But what kept us going was sustainability. You understand? We were actually generating revenue. From that revenue, there was a profit we are making every month. It was small, it was little as of then, but it was something.
Yeah.
Those profits were like the the motivation we needed to know that okay, people are actually using this, people are actually wanting this. If we can do more, we can increase our production. You understand? So
Yeah.
these are the kind of things that motivate you to not want to quit. But if you are the type that you just create a platform and you just go straight to pitching to investors, maybe you don't have a solid track record, you've not exited a startup before, you've not worked in a very big organization before, I think it won't last 6 months before you start thinking about quitting. You understand? Because when nobody see, there is this feeling you get when people are using your product, even when investment is not coming, than when people are not using it at all. You understand? So
Yes.
I will also advise people coming before me to focus on sustainability while they are also looking for investments. There is no law that says you can't do both. You can do both. I know some people we doubt this and say a lot of, but the truth is that it has worked for me. You can do both. You can focus on profitability and at the same time focus on scaling.
What key advice would you give to people that are just starting out their business?
One advice I will give to people starting is before you start anything, look at the market. The market is very important because the market will determine what you are going to make. You understand? You have to look at how big the market is. How can you get this people? So those are the things you don't launch before figuring these things out. That's the mistake most people do. In our time, there are people that would have launched before going to the market to take survey and discuss it and talk to manufacturers and distributors. There are people like that. But those are mistakes that early founders make. I think it's because of excitement. You understand? Excitement is good. It kind of pushes you that drive. But sometimes it allows you make mistakes that you wouldn't have made if you had listened or settle down to think it through. Understand? So before
Yeah.
you venture into any, before you, if you have a startup, before you launch your startup, look at the market. Fine, okay, this market has potentials. How can I acquire? How do I acquire users in this market? Figure it out. Until you figure it out, don't launch.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you for coming.
Today Africa Podcast is a podcast series where we interview African entrepreneurs and professionals and share the stories behind their businesses. In each interview, we ask how they got started, how they grew, and how they run their business today. The stories are inspiring and also provide specific advice and insight into starting a business. By sharing these stories, we want to help others get started.